All right, so here I'm trying to find the second point. So I picked -1 as my x value. Now I've plugged it into the equation and I need to solve. So -1 plus 2 is 1. I'm going to square that, and that makes that 1. So I get the point -1, 1. So I'd come and plot -2, 0, and then -1, 1. Math Excel will come in, and if you use the correct tool, we'll do that. But don't forget, you also have to graph the axis of symmetry, which is that this equation x equals -2. So you come in, use the line bar, make sure it's dashed, and you will draw a vertical line right there at -2. All right, here's a third equation. So again, we need to start off with my vertex. All right, this is my h, it's behind the minus sign, so it is what it is, so it's 2. This here is behind the plus, which makes it a -4. My axis of symmetry, again, is x equals the x value of your vertex, which is 2. Okay, so x equals 2. And you have to write, don't forget, make sure you write x equals 2. Do not give me 2 what? $2, 2 days, 2 something. It's an equation. X equals this. So I've got 1 point to be able to graph my parabola. I need to graph a second point, and I will just pick the point right next to this x value of the vertex. Don't ever pick the y. It's going to end up messy and yucky. Always pick an x value. So I just go 1 to the right. So I just go up by 1. So up from 1 is 3. So I'm going to find f of 3. So that is 3 minus 2 squared minus 4. 3 minus 2 is 1. I'm going to square that and subtract 4. So that is 1 minus 4, which gives me -3. So I get the point 3, -3. So I come in. So I have 2, -4, 3, -3, and lovely Math Excel will do those parabolas. You always have to click on the vertex first, followed by your second point. Then you also have to, don't forget, graph your axis of symmetry as a dashed line, like that. All right, let's see. I'm gonna move that over, and I'm gonna bring in Math Excel. Let's see, here we go. Okay, it says graph the function and state the axis of symmetry. All right, so the first thing I have to do with this problem is identify the vertex in order to graph it. So in order to do that, let's see, let's move that over some more. I'm going to come over here and identify my vertex. My vertex is right here. That's the x value, but remember it's the opposite, so it is -6, -8. Okay, so I got one thing there. Now I need a second point. So my second point, I'm going to go up 1 from the x value of the vertex. So I'm going to pick -5 to throw into that equation. So I'm going to have 7 times -5 plus 6 squared minus 8. Don't forget order of operation. -5 plus 6 is 1. Square it minus 8. 1 squared is 1, so I have 7 times 1, which is 7 minus 8, which gives me -1. So that becomes -1. So I can come in, go right here. Oh, I don't know. It's not going to let me graph just yet. Sorry. All right. So I've got my point set up, but it asks for my axis of symmetry. My axis of symmetry is the x value of my vertex. So remember that is x equals -6. So I'm going to come in, type in x equals -6, enter. Okay, now use the graphing tool to graph the function as solid curve and the axis of symmetry as a dashed line. Okay, so here I come in. I need to use this vertical parabola tool to graph my parabola. So I'm going to come here to 6. Let's see. -6, -8. Okay, and then I'm going to go to -5, -1. Okay, so that's part of it, but don't forget we have to graph our axis of symmetry, so I'm going to come in, do that. But look, I accidentally forgot to make it a dash line. So long as it's highlighted, I can go over here, hit the dash line, and that should be good. We're going to check it. Oh, what did I do wrong? I'm not sure. So let's go back and check. My axis of symmetry is -6. Let's blow this up. Let's go back to here. Let's hit clear. Okay. So we're going to graph. Oops. I want to be able to see that point. Okay. Hit okay. So let's make sure I can see these points. So that was -6, -8 was my vertex. Oh, so yeah, that's not going to work. That was -1, -1. I needed -5, -1. So there I go, and I click it, making that graph really nice and narrow. I'm going to graph my axis of symmetry. Again, I usually forget to hit the dashed line, so long as I'm on it, that's fine. If I click off the graph and I realize it's a solid line, I can just come over here, click, change it, make it all nice and pretty. All right, let's go through one more example. All right, so this one, I want to be able to graph this. All right, so first thing I need to do is find my vertex. For this, let's shrink that. So I need my vertex, the vertex. That is -2, 1. And that comes from right here. Okay, now I need a second point. Here, normally, I would pick just 1 over from -2. But this time, because of this 4, I probably want to pick something in the even range, probably cancel it out so that I can graph it. So I'm going to pick 0. So 0 is going to be my first point. And so I'm going to find f of 0 is equal to 3/4 times 0 plus 2 squared plus 1. So that's 3/4 times 2 squared plus 1. 3/4 times 4 plus 1. And this becomes 3 plus 1, which is 4. So here I can come in and write my 4. All right, so now I've got 2 points. So I got -2, -1, or -2, 1. And then I had 0, what was it? 0, 4. Okay, but then I need my axis of symmetry. Again, if you go over here, you click off, you can come back, click here, and go, oh, dashed line. Check. Becomes a nice, beautiful thing. Okay, so we already found the vertex. That was -2, 1. And your axis of symmetry is x